I don't believe in being exclusive with a man unless there is a clear plan to marriage. Now, you may say, Cynthia, are you telling me as soon as I decide to be exclusive with a man, that also I need to be clear about marriage? And if he is my husband? No, not necessarily, because I believe that even when you decide to be exclusive, you can still vet the man. It doesn't stop. But what I don't want is for you to be trapped in exclusivity with no clear plan or direction for where the relationship is going. If you're new here, welcome to Heal the New Sexy, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. And today I want to talk about the exclusivity trap, because I see many women falling into this trap of they meet a man, they date, they become exclusive, but then there's a lot of confusion and anxiety about where the relationship is going. But before I talk about the topic today, I want to invite you to my Healing from Heartbreak course that is going to be on May 2nd at 12 p.m. Eastern. What would that be? That would be 11 a.m. Central and 9 a.m. on the West Coast. The link will be down below in the pinned comments. If you're going through a breakup or if you're going through a divorce, you're definitely going to want to be present in that course. I will teach for a little bit and then also give time for Q&A. So whatever questions you have about the information I'm giving you as it relates to healing from heartbreak, pulling the lessons from the relationship, identifying the red flags that you missed, going no contact, and how to do that in a way that supports you. I'm also going to give you time for Q&A. Okay, so that link is down below. But all right, my alarm. Sorry about that. So let me get started. I want to first talk about why the exclusivity trap happens. I think many of us are conditioned to, especially women and Christian women, we are conditioned not to roster date. We are conditioned not to date multiple men at a time. Many women feel like, and you may feel like, oh, I can't give all of these men my attention. It's hard to be able to give everything to everyone. And the thing is that many women date men at 100%. Even if this is your only prospect, you just go in giving 100%. And in my opinion, you really shouldn't. I believe that you should start at 0 and then build up as you come to trust this man and to determine if this is the man that you want to be exclusive with, right? So this exclusivity trap happens when you agree to stop dating other people, when you emotionally invest, when you start acting like a girlfriend. I remember a man I saw online was like, when I date a woman within the first 90 days, I want to see her like take up space in my life. And I totally disagree with that. We don't take up space with people in which we haven't had a clear conversation of where the relationship is going. You as a woman need to protect your emotional labor and your physical labor, your mental labor. You shouldn't be in his life solving problems. That is not your role, especially if it's not clear if this is going to lead to you being exclusive. And even when you are exclusive, it needs to be clear of when you expect to be married. You as a woman need to have your own timeline for when you want to be married, okay? And if a man, and let me say this, you have your timeline, you talk to him about your timeline, you don't remind him about your timeline, because there are some men that feel like, even though you have a timeline and you've spoken to him about it, there are some men that are still going to try it. But at the end, like if you want to be married within a year, you guys decide to be exclusive today is April the 14th, you decide to be exclusive today, you're like, listen, I expect to be married within a year. And if you guys aren't married within that year, as in like you've gone to the courthouse, then on April 14th of 2027, you shoot him the deuces. And if he's like, no, sir, no. Okay. Listen, so you do all of these things to show up as a partner, but there is no clear direction or there's no conversation about where the relationship is going. Before you become exclusive, you need to know where you're going. You need to know where you're going. There's no timeline. There's no shared vision. There's no discussion about marriage. Just vibes, consistency, and let's see where this goes. And let's talk about what happens. You start treating exclusivity as if it's progress into the direction in which you want to go. When it's not, what it really is just you removing options, and it's not creating intention. You should be dating with intention. If you haven't watched my video about why every woman should date selfishly, I'm going to put it up here so that you can check that video out after you watch this one. But as a woman, we have to move from being passive to being the CEO of our love life. You are the CEO of your love life. You are. No one else is. And so you determine the flow and how things are. And if this man isn't in alignment with what you want, you guys want separate things, that you have to be okay with saying, this is not the man for me. But a lot of women get their heart involved. They start merging their lives with a man who has no clear intention or direction or vision. And then you are trying to push him to the altar. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Okay. There are many women that fall into this, not because you're naive, right? It's because you value emotional connection. You want to feel chosen. You believe consistency means seriousness. You may do this because you're lonely, so you're trying to secure the relationship. Maybe you're one of my anxious attached girlies, so you want the exclusivity in order to regulate your nervous system. But all of those reasons lead you into unhealthy relationships, all right? And some women fear asking for clarity because you fear if I ask for it, then maybe I'll be perceived as doing too much, or maybe I'm in my masculine energy. So, and many women have been tricked that being assertive equals that they are in their masculine energy, and that's not the case. You should have clarity in your life, and a man who's not willing to provide clarity for you, I would say, is not a safe man. I would say, oh, sorry, that's a shadow. I'm like, I just got my wall painted. What's that? It's a shadow. Or it's the light reflection. I would say that's not a safe man. If a man, I believe, first of all, in the beginning, a man should bring you clarity as it relates to what it is that he wants. We've heard too many men say that men put you in one of two categories: friend, freak, or forever. So if that man is sitting there telling you that he doesn't know what he wants from you, then you should realize that you're in a category that you don't want to be in. And guess what we say over here? You got to what? Move around. Okay. So as it relates to clarity, I want you to know that you should pursue it. You should seek it. You should have the conversation. Now, you don't have to be, demanding, but when he starts talking about being exclusive, then that's your opportunity to also begin to talk about what you expect as it relates to an exclusive relationship with you. Okay. Listen, for many men, being exclusive benefits him when there's no plan, because he gets your time, your emotional labor, he gets sex, he has you watching his children, he has you going to the galas and the events with him, you looking good, he's up for a promotion, and he using you as eye candy, or he's using you because men that are in stable and healthy relationships, that helps them look good in corporate America. So here it is, you getting dressed, you got your YSL bag, you got your red bottoms on, you guys are going to the events, you're going to the gala, and he is all the while using you because he understands that, okay, I told her that we're exclusive and it's just her, so she's not gonna move from here. Because there are some men that use marriage as a carrot, and we ain't talking about the CARAT, because that's what we want some carrots. Okay, not that. He gets your loyalty, he gets your time, he gets all the goodness of you without having to make the decision to move the relationship forward to the space and the place of marriage. And let's talk about the danger of going with the flow, right? This is a dangerous phase in dating because time flows. You can't get the time back. Once you invest the time in the relationship, you can't get it back. And before you know it, 6 months, a year, 2 years have passed, and you are becoming more and more attached to him. Meanwhile, right? He's comfortable, and he doesn't have any incentive to move forward in the relationship. So then you start trying to negotiate your future with him that was never defined initially in order for the two of you to be married and for the relationship to move forward. But I want it to be very clear, when we are dating selfishly, because I need you to watch that video, when we are dating selfishly, we have centered ourselves in our dating. And the thing is, if he is not on the same page that we are on as it relates to our life, then we don't stay. Many women are compromising with their life. And what you're trying to do, you're trying to have all these conversations with him. He's having conversations with you, but he's not busting a move. So you have to do what's best for you. Staying longer doesn't guarantee that he's going to marry you. I know there's some women online, oh, we were married we dated for 8 years and then he married me. But if that's not what you want as a woman, then don't do that. Because you can meet a man tomorrow and be married within a year or within 6 months. I want you to know that exclusivity without intention will equal delay. Exclusivity without intention is often just delayed rejection. Because a man can stay with you, he can care about you, he can enjoy you, and still not see you as his wife. And if there's no plan, no movement, or no clarity, you are not building, you are waiting, you are in a trap. And you know what? Let's be honest, ladies, it becomes a slow death. Because then you start questioning yourself. You start questioning your value. Why won't he marry me? He says he loves me. I love him. I've had his children. Why? We're building this business together. We live together. Why? Then you start questioning yourself, your worth, and your value because this man won't marry you. But it was never his intent to marry you. It was his intent to get what he could get from you. That's it. And then you wonder how he gets all of these things from you, and then the relationship ends, and then he marries the next one because she made it a requirement. In order to get what you want from me, you are going to have to marry me. There's nothing wrong with you, sugar. But you need to be comfortable and having these conversations. Some women are like, I feel like it's conflict. Da, da, da. Yes, if you feel like having a conversation about your future is conflict, that tells me a lot about you. Because that means even at work, you're not the one that's going to ask for the promotion. You're not the one that's going to ask for the raise. But the people on your job, hey, can give you work and work. You act like Rihanna. Work. You doing all of this work on these people's job, and they paying you peanuts because you won't say, hey, sugar, hey, you're giving me all of these extra duties, all of these projects. You got me supervising people, but you haven't given me the title and the benefits that come with this. Even at work. Okay? So let's talk about what you should be doing instead. Date with direction, not just connection. Chemistry is not enough. Sometimes chemistry is a sign that this person is triggering you, really. There's something about them that reminds you of your past. You need clarity about where things are going. We need to be clear. Okay, you want to be exclusive with me, but tell me why. Why is it that you are ready for exclusivity with me? What does being exclusive look like? Where are we going? I need to have a conversation. I told you before, in a previous relationship, we both wrote down our expectations. We both wrote down what it is that we want. We wrote down the direction in which the relationship was going. And there also was a part in there that if we wanted to terminate the relationship, this is what it would look like. It was very clear from beginning to end. How we were going to parent our children. I have a child. He has a child. How we're going to parent the child that we were planning on having together. How we're going to take care of our finances. Everything should be clear. You should not go into any situation blind. I know people be like, relationships are a business. I don't believe they are a business, but I believe that there are some things that you should write out and be clear about. This is how I expect you to treat me. This is how I expect you to take care of me. These are my needs. These are my emotional needs, my physical needs, my financial needs, my sexual needs, my spiritual needs. These are my needs. And if you want me, this is what it looks like. Now, I know some women are like, no, you just need to sit back and watch. But over here, we believe you teach a man how to treat you. Because your name may be Jessica, but you don't want him to treat you the way he treated Barbara. Barbara may not want it much. But you want what you want. Okay, so boom. Date with direction, not connection. 2, don't agree to exclusivity too quickly. Exclusivity should come after you've had real conversations about relationship goals, marriage, values, and alignment. Love is not enough. Just because you may love that man does not mean that you're aligned. Doesn't mean that you have the same values. I'm still reading that book. It's Marriage for White People. And couples that have mixed values will struggle in their relationship. So you need to make sure that your values are aligned. You need to know that man's character before you decide to be exclusive with him. Many of us are being exclusive with men of poor character. And then we are trying to figure out why that man betrayed us. Because he had poor character. All right? You need to be clear about what you're building. What is this man's purpose, especially if he's a Christian man? What's his purpose? What's his vision? Because in Christianity, you're expected to submit to him. What are you submitting to? If this man wants to be exclusive, especially, I'm just going to say if he's a Christian man, he should be able to answer these questions. Why are we being exclusive? Where are we going? What's your purpose in life? What's the mission that God gave you? So that you are sure that you could be able to submit under that. All right. And you're not doing this not in a confrontational way, but in a grounded, self-honoring way, because you need to honor you. You need to know if marriage is the goal and what the timeline looks like in his mind. If he's not clear, he's vague, you know what I'm saying? You feel confused. You feel a check in your spirit. You don't feel peace or at ease. Don't agree to be exclusive. And many women agree to be exclusive because they don't want to lose the man. But I'm trying to save you from losing you. Because the hardest thing to get back is yourself. It ain't no man. I'm trying to help you from losing you. Listen, you need to watch actions, not just labels. A man can call you his and still not be moving towards commitment. A man can call you his and still have a whole lot of his outside. You the man, but he got a whole lot of sides. No. We're not doing this for a label. Give yourself a timeline, not an ultimatum for him, but for clarity for you, to honor you. How long do you want to invest in a relationship where there is no progression? And I know there are going to be people out there. There'll be people in your corner. Just be patient with him. No. This is your life. You decide how much time you want to give this man in this relationship. You, even as it relates to your dating, you decide the quality of dating that you want to experience. Now, I know it's a hot topic. I have some women who are like, Smithia, I'm okay with a coffee date. And there's some women who aren't. But this is my thing. When a person comes into your, I have friends. Not one time in my relationships with my friends have they attempted to downgrade my life. So even when you're dating someone romantically, there should not be an attempt for them to attempt to downgrade your life. Period. So if you are dating a man, you have an idea of what you want your dating experience to be. Don't accept less. If he doesn't want to give it, that's cool. That's just not the man. The man that you are suitable with will date you in the way that you want to be dated, will pursue you in the way that you want to be pursued, and not in a, you being selfish or you're trying to use him or anything, but you guys will have similar interests. If you feel like you got to shrink yourself or minimize yourself in order to be with a man, that's not your man. Okay? So let me say this. The exclusivity should not be the goal. It should be the byproduct of alignment. Two people who want the same future, who are moving intentionally, who are choosing each other with clarity, not just settling into comfort. And a lot of people are honest, but their relationships are stagnant because they've settled into comfort. When you become exclusive with a man, the two of you are choosing each other. You're choosing to move forward intentionally with your future. With your future. Whenever you go, let me put it this way. Whenever you go and you start working a job, it's very clear on when you get those benefits. It's very clear that you have to meet the criteria for that position and the time period that you will be there before you could get a promotion. I know for me, working where I work, you get a promotion within the first year, a step increase within the first year. It's very clear. If you meet this criteria, you get a step increase. I don't need to guess or wonder when I will get a promotion. I don't need to guess or wonder when I'll be eligible for the next grade. It's very clear. As it relates to your dating life, I want you to pursue clarity. If a man can't be clear with you about what it is, he need more time. He said, no. He should know when he sees you. If you're a Christian woman, Adam said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. He laid eyes on her and he said that. David said to Abigail, I love the story of David and Abigail. Abigail had one conversation with David and reminded David of who he was. When Abigail's husband died, David sent and asked Abigail if she wanted to marry him. It don't take a man that long. And if a man is not giving you clarity, it's because he wants you to be confused, because he wants to play on your confusion. That's it. We're either clear or we're not. And if a man who's being confused about you, you take that and you accept it as this man doesn't want me and all that I have to offer, and be okay with that. Be okay with that. All right. I want to hear from you below. Do you think exclusivity is a trap? Would you consider doing the things that I've expressed in this video? This is Healing Is Sexy. Until we talk again. Oh, and don't forget to register for the Healing from Heartbreak course on May the 2nd at 12 p.m. noon Eastern. If you're going through a divorce or a breakup, I want to see you there. All right.